I just finished watching Prey. I probably should have watched it a second time. I'll be honest though, I really don't want to. One is good enough for me. My expectations for this movie were honestly horrible after seeing all the trailers, and in a sense, it was horrible, but not horribly boring, really, if that makes sense. Not, it's not. There's nothing actually wrong with the movie, right? Um, and this movie's gonna be because of that. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to really critique. Um, there's almost not a lot to say about the entire film. Honestly, it's weird, right? Because it's not like the 2018 The Predator movie where everything was so fucking crazy that and tons of things were happening all the time, and it was just so ridiculous that I could go off on that for hours, right? Like the predator dogs. Oh my god, the predators searching for autism. There's none of that in this movie, I guess. So thank God for that. But at the same time, this movie has really no excitement to it at all. Honestly, it's really strange. You know, I I haven't seen anyone. I don't know when this video is coming out. I'm recording it now, but as soon as I just finished it, I'm gonna try and push it out as quick as possible. But I haven't seen anyone make any reviews yet on Prey, so I don't know what other people are talking about the movie. So I'm interested to see what other ideas people have. I wish I had some kind of like foil to bounce my ideas off of, like another dude, another person anyway. But I don't, so I guess I'll try my best. Anyway, um, yeah, so it's horribly boring. Narratively, the plot moves fluidly and it's easy to understand. Everything makes sense the way it happens. That's fine. There's no excitement in the way that the movie happens. Um, it's just sort of boring. We get introduced to our character Naru. Naru. I think so. She's a Comanche, whatever, Indian. We get introduced to her. We get introduced to people close to her. Predator is introduced. Predator starts killing animals in the area of the Indian tribe. Indian tribe investigates. Stuff happens. Naru's like, oh, I want to hunt and stuff because I want to be like the boys. Predator starts killing people now. People keep finding the predator. We keep hunting the predator. Predator starts hunting Naru and the other Indian tribesmen. Naru gets intercepted by evil white men, Frenchmen. They use Naru to try and track the predator because they know it's there. The predator kills everyone, and except for Naru. Naru kills predator. She's now a big hunter warrior in the tribe. Bam. That's basically the plot. Honestly, I just summarized everything about it just now. The whole movie. You won't miss a thing. Honestly. Um, as like let's see. I mean I could talk about like the woke stuff and actually how there's not a lot of it in the movie. There's like one or two scenes. I guess I expected there to be more woke scenes given like how the trailers were presenting itself. Other than the fact that Naru is just like this girl that wants to be a warrior for really no reason other than to prove that she can because everyone says she can't. There's no other real reason to it. So when Naru like fights some of her like compatriots or her peers, she fights like one of them. It doesn't really matter. It's just like it's this whole like she has an entire conflict with this person who's like, no, Naru, you can't just go out there by yourself, and they end up tussling, and she's like getting on top of him and just beating him relentlessly and almost easily. I mean, they get a few hits in on her, but almost like it doesn't matter because she's winning the fight. It's like Hollywood. Look, Hollywood, you don't understand how fights work, right? You don't understand like biology either. Listen, when if there's like a 5 foot girl on top of me hitting me, I'm not feeling any of that. They mass mass and weight times acceleration. What's the fucking the Einstein thing? Listen, wait, you're trying to get what I'm getting at. Like, it's easy for guys to brush off like small girls, right? It's not hard. It happens all the time, and that's just the way it is. That's reality. So, realistically, when I'm seeing this small little girl trying to fight this dude, basically who's bigger than her in every way. It's just unrealistic. I roll my eyes basically. And you know, and that's that. I think this is more of a nitpick. It's not particularly important to the plot at all. Because these guys, who basically captured Naru, that are part of her tribe, try to get her back to the camp, the tribe camp. They die anyway. It doesn't matter. Um, and yeah, that's that. And then she goes to fight the predator, and she wins pretty easily. She like outsmarts the predator somehow. It's just this giant ordeal that I mean, it doesn't make sense the way it happened, but it did happen. We can't change it now. I thought there was gonna be more of this. I thought it was gonna be the whole movie. I should be happy that it's only this like small part, and I just roll my eyes. Essentially, it's okay, but I'm still angry about it. Anyway, there's another scene when she 1v1s the predator. I guess during that time it was a weird scene where the predator it was she was invisible to the predator, even though she didn't have any like mud on her. It was weird. It was weird, dark scenes. Maybe some scenes weren't composited well overall through the movie. Some were though. It didn't look bad. It didn't look bad at all. There were some nice like high rise scenes. You could see the mountains and the pastures and the lands and the hills of whatever area they were part of, and it looked nice. It looked really nice. It didn't look horrible. Obviously, it was all. It was. I'm pretty sure it was fake. I'm pretty sure. CG can look real crazy sometimes. It's like wow, but again, in the movie, it was just so unconscionably boring. Going through it all, I would never watch this movie again. It's not that it was bad. Again, it was just horribly mediocre and bland. Everything about it. Oh, I should talk about the dialogue. If you've ever seen Alpha, right? Alpha is a great movie. I recommend you see Alpha. Way better. Set in like ancient human civilization times where we were living in like European tribes, way before the Indian tribes, right? The story about how we used dogs or wolves as hunting tools, and used them to like hunt other beasts. It's a great movie. I recommend that wholly. Like, in that, all right. So in that movie, there's not a uttered word of English in that movie. Characters understand each other. They have their own language, and there's subtitles. And right, they could have easily just like done that. They could have just spoken English, and then you would have understanded. You would have understood. Sorry, that that they were speaking a different language, right? That's like this movie. All these people, they're not speaking whatever the Comanche language or whatever it is. I'm not sure at the top of my head what it's called. It might just be Comanche. I don't know, whatever Native American language they speak. They use words in that language, but they're like speaking English. So it just sounds weird when they're just speaking English, and they sound so American, right? They don't have accents, and they're speaking English. But then we get introduced to like the French people, and they're speaking like French or whatever. I think it's French anyway. They're not speaking English. Obviously, they can't understand each other. I would have liked it if our characters just actually spoke Native American or whatever language that is. It would have invested me more into the scenes, because watching those scenes is just it's not that like the dialogue was like horrible. It's just it didn't sound like it acted like they were Native Americans, right? They just sounded like regular Americans, like now modern day Americans speaking English like I am to you right now. So it just sounded weird. Um, they could have went that extra mile. They didn't. It is what it is. It just loses more points for the movie. It just takes my investment out of it while I was watching it. Not that it's like a huge problem anyway. I guess it's that's more nitpicky, but still, I think it's a valid point. Um, Other things, the way the predator looks, uh, it isn't very intimidating. It looks just like all the other predators, uh, except it gets beat by a girl. I mean, it takes tons of damage in this movie. Like, it gets shot, gets stabbed, it gets arrowed, it gets beat up by a bear. Apparently, a predator can 1v1 a bear barehanded. So, kudos to the predator. The excitement of the fights, I wasn't really feeling it. Most of this movie, like, the fight scenes were okay, technically. It just didn't. They just weren't exciting. It's really weird, right? Like, this is a Predator film. There should be more. There should be a lot of tenseness, right? So in the original Predator, there was this tenseness of what these like dudes were up against. They're up against this fucking creature they can't see, taking them out one by one, destroying them, ripping their heads off. It was menacing. It was thrilling. It was crazy what they were going through, realizing like what they had to do just to survive. There's really none of that in this film. There's no like no one's afraid. These like people aren't afraid of the predator. It's crazy why they wouldn't be. They've never seen anything like this before. Like the Indian girl, she's never seen this thing and what it does and what it's capable of. And it's crazy. And she's like using bows and arrows and shit. Like, oh, what the fuck? And they're just not afraid. It's weird. You'd think that they'd be like, oh my, holy shit, God just came from the sky and started killing us. Wow, a monster from our dreams or whatever. There's none of that. That takes me out of it too. There really need. This is a Predator film. There needs to be a sense of like horror. It is a monster movie, right? So there. The other previous Predator movies, I'll get these wrong. There's the sense of like horror is gone since like the second Predator movie. Um, and it's not interesting to watch. Ooh, there was this one scene I forgot to mention. Right at the end, we get a sort of homage to the second Predator film. They it's the gun. It was the gun that was given to what is his name? The black guy. Something Glover. I'm sorry. The gun, the pistol, the flintlock pistol, the 1715 gun that it was her. Naru actually used that gun to finish off the predator. She has it now. It's weird now though that they're using that as an homage because she has a gun. So there might be a second movie to finish off the plot line of the gun. Because how do the predators get it back? Because at the end of the movie, she has it. So then I'm guessing she might die in the second movie or something, or she gives it back to more predators, and it's some super heirloom, and then what's his face from Predator 2 is gonna get it, and that'll be that. It's whatever they're gonna do it. I guess. I'm not. If there's gonna be a second movie, I guess I'm gonna have to watch it. You know, because it's fucking Predator. But I'm sure it'll be just as mediocre as this movie. Yeah, I think that's it. Just again, it was really hard to like critique it because I can't really critique the plot because the plot is very simple and it's fine. There's nothing technically wrong with it. It's just there's this component in the film that makes it boring to me. So I wouldn't I it was so right. So technically it's better than say the Predator 2018 where the that movie was ridiculous in its plot and its editing was crazy and just the things that people were doing in that movie were crazy and the dialogue horrible dialogue um but it was fun to watch because of that. It was like insane. This movie, it's technically on paper, it's good. It's just being translated onto film, it's boring. There are some good shots. There's some good edits. There's some not good edits too, and there's some weird shots as well. Overall, though, there's nothing really wrong with it, other than just the excitement wasn't there. Maybe it might be me. It might be me. I'm just not. I was maybe hoping for something more thrilling, even though I was expecting it to be worse than it was. Technically, I was expecting like horrible like bad decisions, incompetent decisions that like characters would make. Sometimes there are a little bit of there is a little bit of that, but it's not like like I don't know, Last Jedi levels of like incompetence, you know. Um, but shit, I guess that's it. I would say don't watch this movie. I would rate it maybe a 4 or 5. It's probably worse than that. I'm probably giving it too much credit. I haven't really ruminated on it for a bit. I might ruminate on it a little more just to like get my full feelings about the movie. I'm probably gonna have to watch it again, but I really don't want to because it was like an hour in. I'm like, looking at my watch, right? Like, oh, what's the time? How much long do I have? Um, which is really upsetting because it's a Predator film. Predators, they just need to kill it. They need to stop. Stop the reboots. Stop the remakes. No more Predator movies. We're done with those. We don't need them anymore. We have them. We have two good movies, an all right movie in 2010 where they went to the Predator world. It was all right, and now then they had Predator 2018. It was horrible. They had the Predator, the AVP movies, and those were not very good, especially AVP 2. AVP 1 was kind of fun, but still not good. And then they have this one. We're incredibly mediocre. Incredibly mediocre. And it's disappointing. Very disappointing. It's Predator. It should be exciting. I should want to watch this movie, but I'm not. They need to stop that. They need to stop the alien stuff too. Fuck it. I guess I'll watch it. I'll see what other people are saying, and then maybe I'll make a second video. I don't know. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe not. All right. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. See ya.